What if you could automate tasks, create content quicker, and grow your business all with AI? Stay tuned. We're going to show you exactly how. Hi, Phil. Welcome to the podcast. How are you?
Hi, honey. You're one of my favorite people on the entire planet, and I'm just so happy that I get to sit here and stare at your beautiful face because it's been way too long since we caught up.
It has been way too long. Before we actually jump into the conversation about AI and small businesses, can you introduce yourself and your business to our listeners?
Yes. So I introduce myself in this way typically. I have my adult job, which is I own a branding agency and have for 14 years helping people and companies position, build, and promote their brands. Personal branding has really always been my focus, I would say, or what I've built my reputation around. But that's also attracted companies of all different sizes, startups, small businesses, definitely a focus of mine. But even then, work with big multinational organizations on branding, strategy, positioning, and brand identity development. So even the visuals and social media strategy, all that kind of stuff. My fun job is that I get to work as a content creator. And that happened right around, I would say, right before the pandemic. I realized I should take my own advice. In fact, it wasn't even me that realized it. It was a client that I'd sent a tutorial to on how to update the blog on their website. And they said to me, Phil, this was really entertaining to watch. Have you ever considered making videos from this? I was like, oh, that's a good idea. And I just decided that videos, in the way that for some people, writing blogs or putting that energy into Instagram, carousels, or reels, for me, creating and posting YouTube videos was a great way to show my presenting and thought leadership, almost kind
Mhm.
of like when I stand on stage, which you and I have done together. Um, didn't know that it would attract opportunities to partner with brands in the way that it did. So I'm close to 400 YouTube videos in more than 4 years, which is wild. And now every video that I publish is sponsored, and I have partnered with way more than 100 brands in the last few years. And my biggest brand partnership is with Adobe. And I'm at a point in my career where I'm very happy, very fulfilled, very challenged, and just like waking up in the morning going, damn, I love my job.
I love that. And you were smart getting to YouTube. That's all I keep seeming to hear. I guess all I've been talking about is the importance of video now, where a lot of people have this feeling like they're fighting against AI because they're not seeing it as that assistant. They're more seeing it as trying to replace them. So
Mm.
if that is the case, video is one of the many ways that you can stand out. It lets your voice come out, lets your personality come out. So, what I really would love to do is talk about AI because we have had a lot of different discussions on the podcast about it. But I want to get your take for it on how small businesses can start using AI without feeling overwhelmed. Where should they
Oh,
start?
yeah. I mean, it is overwhelmed. I get that, and it's actually the main reason I took on the project of writing a book.
Mhm.
Actually connected to what you just said. I got the book deal from Adams Media, which is an imprint of Simon and Schuster, the third largest publisher in the country. Guess where they found me, Jenny Melrose? Found me on YouTube. They said, we love how you explain this concept in simple terms for someone that's likely overwhelmed. And so I empathize with that feeling and have really kind of dedicated my personal brand now to addressing this overwhelm. On the topic of AI, there's so many different lanes. Other people will talk about the latest chip technology and evolutions and all that geeky stuff. My lane is AI tools. And really, my perspective on AI is enthusiasm for small business owners that can use it as a tool for productivity. I don't necessarily mean working longer and getting more done in the day. Sometimes productivity means getting done what you need to do faster so that you win more time back to live, to go outside for a walk. Oh, here's an idea. Let me walk around the lake and actually think about things instead of feeling this overwhelm. Um, this is not something that needs to be done overnight. I get irked when people say, if you don't jump on the AI bandwagon now, you're going to be too late. I just don't think there is a too late. Every single day that passes, AI tools, including tools like ChatGPT, are becoming even better at handling human and conversational commands and language. Um, there are many tools beyond ChatGPT that, yes, some are free, some are freemium, and some are premium. But in many instances, these are well worth the investment if they help you win back time or if they help you delegate to your team so that your team can focus on high impact. I would say I'm uniquely interested and how AI is not just a tool for laziness. It's a tool that actually enables us to be even better at our work. And that's something that I'm encountering day to day in my job as a brand strategist. So to battle the overwhelm, remember it doesn't need to be done overnight. It needs to be done. I would start by focusing on what are some business challenges? I don't like the word problem. What are some business challenges that I need to tackle, and how might AI help me in that exploration? That's the starting point.
Yes. And I love that. And I love that you said that it's not a matter of you're late to the game, you're not going to be able to figure it out. And you're right. I've noticed ChatGPT has improved so much. And the more information you provide it with, the better it understands you and your business and the way that you're going to prompt it. So, what are some common misconceptions about AI that small businesses owners should let go of?
I have a few of these. I call them like golden rules for AI. I believe that there's no right or correct way to write a prompt. So I'm not a big fan of like these kind of copy and paste prompts. That's like me saying to you, Jenny Melrose, like you and I can only have a conversation in the way that I speak English. I speak English better than you speak English, so speak English in the way that I speak it. No, that's like that's not human, right? I listen to what you say, content. I remember how you say it, personality. This is what I've been saying literally for years, even pre-AI. You and I go way back, standing on similar or the same stages.
Mhm.
Content is what you say. Personality is the unique way that you and only you deliver that information. So there's no right way to write a prompt. I recommend using a tool like TextBlaze to save your most frequently used prompts. So instead of trying to memorize them every time you need them, have them available at near instant recall. TextBlaze is a free Google Chrome plugin. You can write backslash and then a single word command, and it will pre-populate that text that you've saved. And so then we're kind of like, we're perfecting the prompt instead of trying to recall it. Our brain is for generating ideas, not for storing them. And so, final thought on this, as we lean into the things that AI is great at, we're reminded why we still need humans and the human element in our day to day. And again, pre AI, I've been preaching that since day one, right? Whether it's social media or it's AI, my job has always been to identify the human and create a brand that amplifies what makes someone great and what makes someone uniquely human. I've never described myself in that way. So thank you for the question because I just landed on something that's kind of cool.
Yes. We've been talking so much about personal branding lately on the podcast because I just think that it is the way that you are going to be able to set yourself apart. It always has been. The more
Yeah.
you get into it, the easier it becomes, the more your audience understands who you are and what you are about. So you actually just gave us a Chrome extension without even knowing I was going to kind of go in that kind of direction about what ways AI can help small businesses save time and increase efficiency, because that's what I really feel like it has made all the difference in my business for.
Yeah, it can definitely increase efficiency. Can I maybe give an example workflow of how I use AI on a daily basis?
I would love that.
Um, at a surface level, this has enabled me to, in some instances, double my hourly rate because I'm doing a better job and I'm doing it quicker.
Mhm.
Um, but again, for me, I'm really interested. I think ChatGPT and other generative AI tools get a bad rap because a lot of people haven't really mastered how to use it yet without losing their own voice.
Yes.
To the point where like my most downloaded freebie nowadays is my avoid words list, which are the words that I save as a text snippet to tell ChatGPT, don't say this. Don't say groundbreaking. Don't say unleash. Don't say unlock. Don't say treasure trove. Don't say these stupid words. Or a new one for me is like contrast structure. It's not this, you know, M dash. It's this. Oh, I hate it. Or emojis. It overuses emojis to the point where I almost don't use emojis in anything other than maybe once in an Instagram caption because ChatGPT has ruined them for me. So I would say um, an example, I use ChatGPT to write my YouTube video scripts. By the time I go to record them using a teleprompter, I can record my videos in less than 10 minutes, typically in one take. Um, I don't use it to be lazy, although I do get my videos created faster. I do it because it makes me better. Step one, here's the brief of whatever video I'm working on, if they've provided one. Step two, go to that tool or platform's website and just copy the homepage and just paste it in. And then my most used prompt, don't take action yet. I'm still giving you input. I say that all the time. Step three would be here are two recent video scripts that will give you an idea of my formatting and my style. Using these three pieces of information, now draft a script. And that simple exercise gets my script 90% there. The
Okay.
output is amazing because I've taken time to give it input. Much
Yeah.
like us having a conversation, although probably not the best example of this because I just went on for quite a while. A conversation is two ways. It's two
Oh,
ways. And so remember that when you're interacting with a generative AI tool, in order to get a good in order to get a good output, you have to take the time to give it input. It's going to try to take the shortcut right away and just start drafting things, but it's going to be crap until you give it, I would say, 3 or 4 phases of input. Just tell ChatGPT, don't take action yet. Another good one. It's okay to disagree with me. Just tell me why. So
okay.
those are like two biases that I find um, often, and that's a way to deal with them.
Yes. So I love that you talked about the input phase because I think that's the step that everyone's missing. They think they can ask it a question, they're going to take the information from it, and they're done. That's it. They're not providing them, like you said, copy the homepage of a website and putting that into it as it's giving it information, giving that, allowing that to be the input for it. I think once I actually added a PDF to it of my opt ins, so that it understood what I was about, where I was trying to go with my content, that's when the game changed. I then
Mhm.
provided it my actual PDF to my book. And that even more so helped. I just think we're missing this phase of input. We're expecting to ask questions and for it just to know who we are. But if you can provide it with actual data, like you said, a script that you've used in the past, copy from a website, it's going to understand your voice better and be able to provide better results to you. So I love
100%.
that example. So good.
100%. And then I would say specifically with ChatGPT, people need to be careful about the data that they're providing it. This isn't as exciting to talk about, but I, for example, can't upload my manuscript or the PDF copy of my book to ChatGPT because I don't own it. The publisher owns it.
Right.
So in that instance, I use a tool like Adobe Acrobat AI Assistant, which is that little rainbow button that you may have noticed in the top right corner when you open a PDF.
Mhm.
That this program does not train the model on your intellectual property. Whereas ChatGPT, most cases, it does. I pay for ChatGPT Teams, which is more expensive. It's a two-seat minimum, so I spend $60 a month on that for two seats. But I also deal with occasionally sensitive information, confidential information when I'm consulting. So for me,
Mhm.
I have to use that. But I also use Adobe Acrobat AI Assistant, which I can use and not worry about the information that I'm interacting with. And that can fit up to, or that can handle up to 600 pages, which is really cool. So imagine opening your book and going, help me extract a 500-word blog post inspired by chapter 2, AI and sales. I mean, it can do that, and then you can just iterate and land on that result. But we're entering this phase. I mention it because it's important for people to think about. Maybe that's another misconception that you asked about, is that every AI tool is safe. I'm not saying ChatGPT isn't safe, but I am reminding you that it trains on your data. So we're kind of
Mhm.
entering this zone of like novelty and excitement and experimentation to sustainable use of AI. And that includes privacy, security, and those types of things.
Yes. So good. So, one last question, and then I want to talk a little bit about your freebie for sure. What's your advice for small business owners who fear AI will replace human jobs?
They might not like my advice on this, but it's a good reminder that we can be replaced by anything. So there's a study done by Goldman Sachs, I think 2 years ago, that discovered in the US, at least 63% of jobs are complemented by AI. I identify as that. Like, seriously, AI totally complements my work and actually enables me to do my job even better.
Mhm.
Imagine now, Jenny, let's say you're a client. I can say, remember that conversation we had 4 months ago that I have the transcript uploaded to a projects in ChatGPT? Jenny told me this story about, going to Florida with her kids and she learned this important business lesson. Like, I would never remember that if I was going by memory or have to dig back through call notes, etc. So
Mhm.
it's an example where technology is really adjacent to what I'm doing. Um, I'm the conductor and I still have to conduct the symphony, but I don't have to play every instrument. So 63% it's complementing, 30% it is jobs unaffected by AI. Maybe it's the guy cutting grass outside, and then 7% will be replaced. I think that's a relatively low number. I think it's not as high as people expect it to be. However, we should all, independent of AI, we should all think about how can we not be replaced by technology. It's just a good reminder we should all think about what is it in my work that people pay for. For example, I don't think people pay me for knowledge. I think people pay me for access. They want my opinion. They want my opinion based on the fact that I branded more than 400 people in 14 years. It's not necessarily the knowledge. You could probably recall a lot of the knowledge on ChatGPT. They want my attention. Okay. So think, in your job, what is it that makes you irreplaceable? We should all be thinking about that.
Right. It's that experience. It's the stories that you have lived through that your knowledge then impacts the people that you are helping
Yes.
because it's that human element that they need. So
Yes.
tell me about, you've got over 200 plus vetted AI tools for small businesses in a guide. What can we expect to find on there? We're going to make sure that we link to it in the show notes so everyone can make sure that they go and grab that. But tell me a little bit about it.
Yes, so this is on my tools page, and I've been hard at work at organizing these actually into categories. Hopefully, by the time that this actually goes live, you'll see the updated version of it. Right now, it's a little janky in the form of a PDF, but right now we're actually digitizing it in a really exciting way with filters and links to videos that I have done. As I mentioned, creating content for 4 years on YouTube. The majority of the projects I take on now are AI tools. And so I have tried and tested many of them, in fact, the majority of them that are included in the book that I wrote called AI for Small Business. So this is almost like a little sampler just to focus on the AI tools, what they are and what they do that I included in the book. Obviously, I recommend picking up the book as well. That's not free, but it's well worth it. We talk a lot about examples. Having owned a branding agency, I feel like I've worked in so many different industries. It's given me the chance to reflect and teach real and theoretical examples of how my clients are using AI or could be using AI for productivity. That's always been, my focus and will continue to be. So that's that.
Yes. Excellent. We are going to link that. We're also going to make sure that we are linking to your book, which I am super excited about. I was so thrilled to see that it launched. I appreciate you so much, Phil, for taking the time to speak with me and share your knowledge with my audience.
Well, listen, all of this, you play a role in this. You were the one that told me years ago, Phil, every brand you touch morning to night, that could be a brand deal. And it was that kind of lesson that and I still, by the way, quote you years later, but that kind of rewiring of my mind enabled me to think in terms of a content creator, which were those were always my clients. It wasn't me. Now I make the majority of my income as a content creator, which is just wild. So I just so appreciate you. I appreciate you.
Be sure to check the description of the videos that you make sure that you get your 200 plus AI tools that you could be using right now in your small business. I'd love to know in the comments how you are actually using AI in your business right now.